Hello, Wentzville. It's Michelle Carlisle again with another community connection on the Park Bench, Wentzville. I am here with Mayor Nick, and we are just chatting about things that we love about Wentzville and why we're here. Because I know you aren't from Wentzville originally. You came from the other county.
Correct.
What made you want to come out this direction?
I pretty much grew up in Florissant for 28, 30 years, and started coming out this way, St. Charles County, and I liked the way St. Charles County was growing. Plus my job, when I worked for a large food retailer, moved me out to St. Charles County, and I was in management supervision. So when they moved me out to St. Charles County, the drive was getting a little hectic in bad weather. So that kind of interested me too. So I started looking out this way, and we first moved to O'Fallon for a while, and I kept coming up to Wentzville. Something just kept dragging me out here, and I just liked the way it was, the growth and the hometown feel, but the amenities starting to come in. So I talked my wife into coming a little further, and we've never regretted it for 1 minute.
Very good. What's been the biggest surprise for you since you've been mayor?
Okay, the
And
biggest
have been
surprise,
here for a
the
while.
biggest surprise, I was an alderman for 5 years, and I got elected in 2012 as mayor. So it's been a little different role, and the growth has been exponential, and the positive aspects of the people in the community. We got a lot of good people here, and people want to be involved and informed, and that was my platform, to make sure you're informed and what's going on, and kind of part of the process. Now, you're not going to make everybody happy, but and I only get a vote if I'm in a tie. But a lot of things come to Wentzville. We try to, I got great staff. I mean, we've been recognized the best city to work for twice. We got great staff that helps us accomplish our goals. We do a strategic planning session, I guess, once every year. So different boards come in. Every year's election, so different boards. So you have to adapt to that board of what their goals are and your goals, try to mesh and marry them up to what you'd like to see. So the biggest surprise to me is how fast it's growing, and all the people from North County has come out this way. So I'm from Florissant, so are a lot of other people from North County, and I've run into a lot of friends or people I grew up with or went to school with, and it's just been a great community. We have events. You run into a lot of people.
Yes, it is one of the biggest small towns. People say that about St. Louis in general. Wentzville is a microcosm of that. It is one of the larger small towns that you'll find where it kind of feels like there's only 1 or 2 degrees of separation. You know somebody that knows somebody.
Right.
What are some of the things that you love about just Wentzville in general? What keeps you invested in being mayor and staying here and loving it?
Well, my passion is customer service. That's been my job, my background for over 43 years, and working with people, solving problems. And you can't always do it yourself, so working with our staff has been a blessing, because I can work through things. Some things I can solve on my own, and some things I have to go through staff to try to figure out how we can make things happy. But being part of the growth and bringing things in people want to see, as I walk around every year and talk to people, they tell me what they like, what they don't like, what they'd like to see in Wentzville. And so we try to bring those amenities to Wentzville. But the feel of our parks, the atmosphere, the downtown area, which are historic downtown, I think we'll always have, I think people are afraid we'll lose that feel. I don't see that happening, because it hasn't happened from 8,000 people when I first got here to now we're at 46,000, somewhere 45,000 people. It's still growing. That feel's still been there, and so it attracts people to the community because we have so many things. We have so many things to offer people.
And it certainly makes a difference when people can recognize that their representation cares and listens.
And we do for the most part. But people say, well, some people say you don't the board's not listening to us, but we're listening to majority or we're listening to minority. So you can't please everybody. But
right.
Some things you have to look at the big picture. What is best for Wentzville? So what does people want? You might not be here 10 years from now. I might not be here. But what's going to make Wentzville a better place? What can we leave behind? So I look at sometimes at the whole picture, and we try to bring those things in, like the recplex. People want a recplex.
Yes.
But it's not a recplex.
I'm sorry, I gotta go back to that. It's recreational. It's a recreational center.
Thank you, Kara, for the clarification.
Yeah, thank you. I get stuck on that recplex. Some people call them recplexes, but that was something that people want to see. City Hall. This was a big project for us. We needed a new city hall. We combined 5 buildings into one, and working with staff and coming up with solutions to how we got here. This was built with internal revenues. We saved for it. We didn't raise taxes. We didn't bond it. It was paid cash, and it came in 1.8 million under budget. The next big
Nice.
project was our public works facility, and it's not a Taj Mahal; it's a work center. You know,
Yeah, and-
really saved taxpayers' dollars on other buildings. But then they wanted a recplex, so that had to be another project. How do
A community
recreational
center.
community center?
Rec center.
How do we get up the recplex thing? How do we accomplish that? That was a challenge. That was a big challenge. So trying to overcome those hurdles and people that don't come to the meetings don't really understand how we got
Right.
to how the process worked. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a year long, if not longer, from the time you start discussing something
There's so
to
much
how
that
you
goes
fund
into
it
a
and how you make it
project.
happen.
Yeah.
So people want, but they don't want to raise taxes. So we got to do it without raising taxes. So how do we do that? So there's only several options to come up with and get it done now. We could have built it and saved for it 15 years, but they want it now.
Yeah.
The kids are going to be, 20, 30 years old by the time we build it. So we try to get the things done that they want to see now. And we did that with our parks, 3 parks, Splash Station, Improved Hills Park, and Heartland Park.
Yeah.
And we got a all accessible playground.
Yep.
Those are a lot of challenges that you face. And people are happy when they're done, but when you start the project, they don't fully understand how we got there. So we're trying to talk to our city manager, we're trying to do some classes or some open town halls or videos possibly on Government 101, how we got to where we're at on these projects.
What does it actually take
Yeah, what does it take
to
to
get
it
from
done?
point A to point B?
Right,
Because you only ever see the initial push,
Right.
and then the grand opening and the ribbon cutting.
right. And you hear about it, and then you have somebody that wants to make it negative and spin it negative. And it's happened to me quite a few times. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's what the people wanted. We did a survey. 85% of the population that did participate in the survey said we're lacking entertainment and recreational. So that's where how we started the process. And my goal was to try to figure out how to get it paid for and built. And working with our board, our staff, we came up with a solution. And at the end of the day, it was the less impact to the community
Right.
to get it done. So, and I'll never regret the way we got it done. I think it was the best way to get it done, accommodate the challenges that we had and make people happy. It's going to be a great benefit for our community. It's going to raise property values.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a benefit for the community totally. So, but we have a lot of transportation issues that we are funded, and that's another project. We have $72 million budgeted and funded over the next 5 years for transportation improvements. Well, we put 20% of your tax dollars, and we get 80% participation from other government entities like East Gateway, County Road Board, CMAC, grant money, funding, state. But we have to wait till the 80%
Right.
matches up to our 20%. They budget every year too. So once that 80% matches up to our 20%, then we can start design, construction, all that, land acquisition. So there's a lot of steps in the process. People, they want it done now. So it's,
Yeah.
but we are planning ahead for our growth, and we try to stay ahead of those projects. So when 5 years is up, we'll have 5 more years of projects coming and funded, hopefully.
It's a never-ending
It never ends.
challenge. So as far as things that you personally would most like to see improvement on, would you rank just public understanding of the process a little higher?
Yeah, I
or-
would, and I have an open door policy. I'm here every day. I'm not here all day, but I'm here every day, and people have access to me on Facebook or social media, or they want to meet with me anytime.
And
Our
he
staff,
does respond.
and I do respond. May not like the answer sometimes, but I'm going to be honest with you, give you the answer that is the truth. But I would meet with them and try to explain the process, but people don't understand how long it takes. There's so much red tape, it's not like you're the mayor, you can make this happen. I have a board I have to go through for funding. I have staff I have to go through for the documentation or what we have to do to get to this point. So there's a lot of steps that make things happen, but I would like people to get more involved, and maybe if they can't come to meetings, watch our meetings, or reach out to our elected officials and try to, or even our staff, and try to understand the process. But everything is on our website. Kara does a great job on making sure everything, our comp plan, our land use plan, our budget, everything's online that you can see. No secrets, nothing like that. It's all transparency. So, you can get that information that way too. But we'd like people to understand, you know, we're not trying to pull anything from you. We're trying to get what
We're
you
trying to get
want.
it out there in
Yeah.
front of you.
Yeah, we're trying to get
You
it-
just need to want to look for it.
Right.
So,
Right.
as far as, you know, like you said, you may not be here in 10 years. Somebody else that you talk to might not be here in
Sure.
10 years. For people that are aspiring to be community leaders, do you have any advice for people that are kind of just getting into public representation and leading a community?
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities out there. We have a lot of boards and commissions, and school boards, you know, have elections. We have elections for county library district and water districts, and, you know, we have an alderman every year is up for reelection. You know, I hate to see boards change if our board's doing a great job working together, but it happens. You know, it happens, and mayors change as well. But if you want to become part of the process, you got to get engaged and know the issues. And it's always easy to sit on the backside and say, "Well, I would have done this and I would have done that." It's not that easy.
Get
You
involved
have-
and
you
do
have-
that.
You have, yeah, it's a lot of hard work and to make something happen. But yeah, I encourage everybody. I mean, I think everybody should get involved in government at some point, whether it's local or higher. People tell me, my friends tell me, local government's the death of a politician because you're so close with people. They can complain a lot. You hear it, but at the upper levels, they don't really hear as much as we do at the local. So we affect people's lives more than the state and federal government. I believe we affect
Absolutely.
your
The
quality
more-
of life here than they do.
Yeah, because
It's a lot of
you're
bickering.
directly involved in that community. It's
Correct.
your home too.
Correct. It's our home. We try to represent you, not what we want, but it's all about what you want to make those things happen. So.
Well, I've really enjoyed speaking with you this
Well, thank you. I
morning,
enjoyed it.
and I hope maybe some of that has helped our community understand a little bit more about what goes on behind the scenes, and, you know, maybe inspired someone to get involved. Maybe hopefully more than someone, maybe someone's to get involved and actually be a part of the community going forward. So I appreciate it, Nick. Thank you
Well,
very
thank
much.
you. Yeah, I appreciate it.
And we look forward to chatting with you again.
Anytime. Yeah, I love Wentzville, and the people here are great. And like I said, I'm accessible. And anytime you want to sit down, come in and have coffee. I'm willing to talk to you about anything. And you know, we have a lot of challenges, but we work hard on them, and people help us to get ideals to bring things to our communities. Wentzville proud. That's all.
All right.
That's all I've been. I'm very proud of Wentzville. Everything we've accomplished.
That's awesome. I love being from Wentzville, love living here, so we will see you on another Community Connection.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.